Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Mr. Money TV live on Thursday night.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to our show. This is Frankie here.
And this is Mr. Money Peter.
Yeah, how are
All
you doing?
right.
Uh,
So I was sick for the last week.
mm,
And I just got back from Kuching.
mm,
Wow. So this is the first time I've been to Kuching.
how was it?
I think Kuching is a fantastic place.
Mm.
I am about to consider whether should I migrate to Kuching.
How come everywhere you go, you feel like you want to migrate to that area?
No,
Why?
not really. My God.
No, meh? That day we
No.
went to Seremban to shoot a video. Also, you say, I'm gonna leave her one day.
Yeah, okay lah. True. But so only Seremban and Kuching lah.
Okay,
Not
okay.
other places
Fair,
lah.
fair,
Like one thing about going to Penang.
Why? Too busy. Might as well live in KL, right?
Correct.
It's the same, right?
For
Same
me,
feel.
for me, it's the same feel.
Mm.
But why Kuching? Let me share with you, right?
Okay.
Because do you know education is gonna be free or is free
Mm.
in Kuching?
What do you mean?
All
Over
the
here
way
also
up
free.
to all the way up to university level.
Oh, really? Huh?
But our budget
Yeah.
2025, we are not gonna be having free education, especially if you're T15. I mean, it was never really free to start with.
Okay,
You're going to be
yeah.
lucky and subsidized.
Mm.
Yeah, so as I was thinking about that, then I thought Kuching could be a good place.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
and-
apart from that, is there other things if you are anak Sarawak?
I mean,
Other perks?
there is a lot of perks in the sense where you are, if you're anak Sarawak, you're considered bumi, right?
Mm.
So then you're entitled for ASB, those kind of things. And not just that, because you're under a bumi status,
Mm.
you can do quite a lot of business lah.
Mm. That's true. You buy houses also got discount, that
That's
kind of things, right?
That's right. And food there is also quite cheap. It's not that expensive.
Oh, how much is it to have a meal?
So apparently, if you makan in like local areas, normal food probably about 6 to 7 ringgit, 8
Okay.
ringgit like that.
Right.
You will
Oh,
still
6,
get.
7, 8 ringgit.
Yeah, so sometimes about
not-
5 ringgit
Not
further out a bit.
not too
Yeah.
cheap also lah.
Not too cheap, not too
Right.
cheap,
Mm.
not too cheap. Houses also apparently about same price,
Mm.
but not like Bangsa kind of price, but
Okay.
Klang Valley,
Right.
Ampang.
Around 500,000 that level, I suppose.
Depending lah, yeah, they say
Okay.
like depending on the area and so on. But buy land is cheap lah.
Mm.
So that was something that was new for me.
Yep.
This week lah. What
Yep.
about yourself? How was the week?
Well, the whole office without Peter is quite quiet. Yeah, because Peter usually because his voice is very loud, right? So the whole office can hear whatever he says.
So
So for the past few days, it's like, oh, the office is like a library, like that. Very
oh,
quiet.
very quiet lah.
Yeah,
So got
very
no
quiet.
meetings.
Got meetings, but
Mm.
generally it's quiet.
Oh, I see. So you're saying that you enjoyed a good peaceful time lah.
Uh, piece of ear.
Piece of ear, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Right.
let's talk about budget
Yes.
2025. Now,
Yes,
today's topic is
correct.
gonna be about how budget 2025 is gonna impact your investment.
Correct.
Let's start with the first thing lah.
Mm.
When it comes to budget 2025, after it was announced, what are some of the things that immediately caught your attention?
I think the biggest thing is obviously the minimum wage. I think there has been a bit of speculation here and there, right? But finally, when the Minister of Finance, who is also the Prime Minister, said that it's going to increase from 1,005 to 1,007, then that is sort of like, okay, pinned down already. Then a lot of people start calculating, oh, how is it going to impact their cost? Do I need to revise my prices? How do I maneuver with this situation and things like that? Yeah, so that is the biggest, because wage impacts every businesses. So that is the first thing that a lot of people commented it on.
Right. Yeah. So I think that is one thing that definitely caught a lot of people's attention. I think the second thing that will impact our investment is in terms of the allocation for semiconductor lah. But it's not going to be directly impacted. But rather over the future prospect of the
Yeah.
industry growth and so on. Less of stock investor affected, but rather
Yep.
PE side, right?
Yep.
Now, I think another thing is actually the 2% dividend thing.
That one, huh? That one also impact us,
Oh yeah, correct,
yeah.
correct. The one gonna
Yeah.
impact us.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about these few things, and then as we move on, we're gonna dissect what are all the other things that could actually impact your investment portfolio and also your daily life lah.
Correct.
Yeah. So let's begin with the first thing, right?
Yep.
Minimum wage. Yeah?
Yes.
So it has been revised from 1,005 to 1,007. First, do you think it's a good move? Do you think it's too much, too little? What are your thoughts about it?
From the right perspective, of course, it is good, right? I mean, in the past, if you are only getting minimum wage 1,005, Now from February next year onwards, suddenly you get 200 ringgit extra without needing to change anything because the policy says you are entitled to get 1,007.
That's right.
That is good in that sense, but not good in from a different perspective, which is if you don't improve your productivity, then actually the businesses are incurring higher costs but the same amount of productivity.
Mhm.
So they would need to find other ways to recoup the the cost that is going to be incurred.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
likely this will go to
You and me and every one of you also.
it will likely be transferred into consumer
Yeah,
side,
correct,
Yeah.
correct.
I think firstly when we are talking about the minimum wage side, right? I think immediately what we can see here is that for let's start by talking about the stock investment side, right? You will
Yes.
likely see brands that have a retail footprint,
Mm.
that has a direct to consumer relationship,
Yep.
will likely hold their prices or their valuation stronger
Mm.
because they are more able to transfer the price down to consumer immediately, right?
Mm.
But number two is that those B2B businesses, I think their valuation will be a bit more on the yeah,
Mm.
because you can't directly transfer over ma.
Yep.
And
Yep.
usually it's 1 year by 1 year contract.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's a large amount. So the
Yes.
negotiation process, I think chances are we're gonna see a squeeze, right, when it comes to these
Correct.
kind of companies.
Especially on manufacturing kind of business.
Mm.
Because you see, right, for those a little bit more high value kind of businesses, chances are your starting pay is already like 2,008, 3,000 ringgit or whatnot, right? So it's around that range. So when you increase the minimum wage from 1,005 to 1,007, no impact.
No impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
But
for us, no impact
yeah,
because our
no,
starting
correct.
salary is
Yeah,
3K.
3,000 and above
Yeah.
already, right? But for manufacturing, a lot of them they hire all the lower skill kind of workers, and generally many of them they get paid the minimum wage. So let's say for example the whole factory, right? A big factory, and then you hire like 100 people. So when you talk about each person has 200 ringgit increase times 100 people, that's actually quite a lot of money per month.
That's right.
Per month. And
Yeah.
you times 12, that is actually quite a lump sum.
That's right. So imagine if let's say I have 100 staff,
Yeah.
200 ringgit increase. A lot of people think it's just 200. No, includes EPF,
Ah,
SOCSO, all those contribution, right? So
Correct.
it adds up together there. If let's say 20 or 200 ringgit is not really 200 ringgit, but plus another 13%, right? So that will be 220 over, right? If let's say we're talking about 226 ringgit, and then we have 100 staff, then we are looking at
22,000. Yeah.
22,300 ringgit every month. 1 year at the added expenses of 100 over 1,000.
Huh?
I know,
200
2,000 a month.
200 over.
Correct. 200 over, 200 over. Yeah, sorry. So 200 over 1,000. So that's over 250,000, you know.
Yeah, and you're just talking about a very, very small outfit of about 100 people. And generally, when you talk about big businesses with big factories, right, they hire like hundreds or sometimes thousands of people in their factory, man.
That's right. That's right.
Especially those very labor-intensive kind of manufacturing.
Agriculture is another one.
Plantation especially.
Plantation.
Yeah, because it's very labor. You need people to go into the plantation to go and chuchuk the palm oil.
That's
and then you
right.
need people to go and collect.
That's right. So think about it, right? Palm oil, right? I think are the ones that's gonna be like, oh wow, cause what happened is that they can't even transfer a price.
Correct.
It's purely based on market price, commodity prices.
Correct. Yeah, because palm oil is listed on Bursa Exchange, so they can only follow that price.
That's right. So nothing to transfer.
Yeah, nothing to transfer.
Nothing to transfer.
Yeah.
Really nothing to transfer.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to the commodity sector kind of business, I think that's when they will really get the crunch. Yeah, so then they will have to find ways to actually improve. Now, so let's look at it from the perspective of the business. We talked about it. They are probably going to face some profit crunch in that sense. That's the one thing. For their consumer, on the other hand, if let's say it is a B2B business, well, chances are it will take 1 year before they can renegotiate. If let's say they sign a long-term contract, chalat, maybe you got no place to negotiate, not really sure.
Yes.
Then, but if it's consumer one, usually it will be beneficial because it will be able to transfer over. Now, I think one thing on the other hand though, we may start seeing companies exploring investing in capex because of this.
To automate?
Correct. Because you think about it, right? Prime Minister already did mention about 1,007, right? But we know that it's not going to stop here. he actually wants the minimum wage to go up way higher.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Previously there were rumors saying that it's gonna be 2,000, and stuff like that.
Mm.
And after discussing with industries, generally it's like, hey, please don't do that, lah. You're gonna kill all of us, right?
Mm.
Now, so I think with that in mind, I hope businesses will be more interested to automate automate the processes,
Mm.
and with that they are able to reduce their sizes,
Yep.
or either increase their productivity,
Mm.
either way,
Mm.
to compensate for this increase of wage.
Yeah. Okay. Now, some people will think that, oh, if you automate the process, then that means that we are going to lose our job, right? Actually, if you think from a different perspective, it also means that the system is forcing you to go and upskill yourself so that you keep yourself relevant to the job market.
That's
If
right.
you don't do that, right? Takkan every year you increase the minimum wage and then your productivity is the same.
That's
then
right.
then how is Malaysia going to progress to become a high income nation? It's
That's
very
right.
difficult,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
So I think if business mindset has that intention to change to automation, then I think gradually Malaysia will improve in that sense.
That's
Yeah.
right. But I think this process for the rakyat perspective is not gonna be easy, because number one, right? Humans being humans, we love the part about increasing the wage, but we don't love the part that we need to put in the work to increase the wage, right?
I think generally all humans
right?
are like
Humans
that.
being human. So let's say you increase the wage to 1,007, right? Most workers will expect I should be doing the same amount of work.
Mm.
But what happens is that in the business perspective, they'll expect you to do more,
Yep.
right? When they expect you to do more, then the question is, are you willing to improve yourself?
Mm.
Now, then you can get very angry about it or whatever it is. Well, it's your choice,
Yep.
right? Either you can choose to improve yourself, and same thing for businesses as well.
Mm.
Now, I think this is actually quite good, because Malaysia has been always a country that is very much dependent on low wage for a very, very long time. In fact, most of the developing countries starts with that, right?
Yep.
Even Singapore, originally they started with that.
Yep.
Then subsequently, they slowly move into higher tech kind of industries, right? Now, but you can only move into that when your people are much more educated. That's number one. And number two, your people are willing to double up or increase their productivity. And business, on the other hand, is willing to change their model from low cost to high value, right? And the only way that you can force businesses to do that is actually this kind of thing. Because you think about it, right? If
Yeah.
let's say today I own a factory,
Yeah.
every year I'm already making, say, 50 million,
Yeah.
or either 10 million as a business owner, right? Profit net 10 million. You tell me change to high tech, but it
What
means
for?
that I need to reinvest
Correct.
another
Yeah.
10
10 million
right?
to
Like,
change the whole system.
yeah, why should I take a 10
Yeah.
million ringgit risk just so that each one can earn extra 200 or 500 ringgit,
Mm.
and then I risk my family's safety, right? Or safety net. Now, again, you hear this, you sound like, wow, the fella is very selfish. Because the truth is, people are selfish. That's how it works. The business owner is not going to be like, I already have a bungalow, I already have a car, I already have a very good education. So since that's the case, maybe I should just take normal salary and give you all my profit. They're not going to think like that.
Even if they think like that, the shareholders will not think like that.
Correct. and to a certain extent, that is a benevolent act if they think like that. But if they always think like that, people will also not push themselves to improve, because there's always someone to take care of you,
True.
right? So the whole idea is that the people, number one, they know that they need to upskill. If not, they're going to lose their job. Then they are forced to upskill, or at least if they don't, they will make sure that their children upskill themselves. So that, it's just like our time, right? Our parents make sure that we study. Why? Because your parents
Correct.
went through that.
To equip us with relevant
Correct.
skills so that we can find a good job, right?
That's right. Yeah, but if let's say you always know that my children is always taken care by the system, then you won't really see much improvement.
Yes.
Right? I think there's a common complaint among many Malaysians, right? And actually, in fact, I heard that in Middle East, there's the same kind of complaint about their locals,
They're not productive enough.
because they're not productive
because
enough.
they are very well taken care of.
Right, like Dubai, right?
Yes,
If
yes.
you go to Dubai, they will say that locals in Dubai, most of them are very, very laid back because they're taken care of. Yeah, so the people who are willing to work are foreign workers.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the whole idea behind that.
Yeah.
But Dubai, different case, got they're overflowing your oil. So
They can use oil to shower.
yeah, they can use oil to shower. So different story altogether. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the thing that we have to highlight about
True.
the
True.
minimum wage.
Yes.
What other things you want to add
Correct.
on?
So on this minimum wage, right, since 2005 to 2007, the biggest beneficiary group of people will be people with low income, so the B40. So these people, right, they have one behavior, which is they have a very high propensity to spend. Now, what does it mean, right? If let's say today your salary is 10,000 ringgit, to increase the 200, right, you got no feel and you say, I will just put it in FD and then out of sight, out of mind. But 200 ringgit for a B40 family, it's it's quite a lot.
Yes.
And they can use it to buy milk powder, to buy
That's right.
whatever things, right? So this 200 ringgit increase, and because the proportion of B40 in Malaysia is still relatively high,
Yes.
actually it will benefit a lot of discretionary consumer companies.
Mm.
So places where they go and shop and they buy their groceries, these kind of companies tend to benefit from it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And if you think if one workforce person gets 200 extra,
Yes.
and if the scale is like we're talking about millions of people getting 200 ringgit extra, that's the potential that all these businesses can get.
That's right. So if you think about it, right, if we are talking about B40 is 40% of the working population in Malaysia,
Huh.
right? Let's say we say that out of these B40, maybe say half of them
Mm.
or 1/3 of them are actually earning a minimum wage, and
Yeah.
now suddenly they're looking at 1,007.
2007.
With the 200 ringgit extra, let's just project that they may actually buy extra one packet of Maggi Mee, and
Ah.
extra one bag of Maggi Mee,
Mm.
or either extra one loaf of bread.
Mm.
That is extra 10 ringgit to spend.
Mm.
Let's say they're very discerning lah. I think it's fair that they spend extra 20 ringgit lah.
Mm.
Okay, that's quite a lot of money, so imagine companies like 99 Speed Mart, so on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Those the places where people shop, and
Correct.
bread companies, the brand itself that's
Yes.
providing that, right?
Yes.
Those will buy
Yeah.
extra packet of sugar.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Yeah, whatever lah, right?
Yeah.
And now suddenly maybe with that, there's a study that shows that lower income family also consume more sugar,
Mm.
right?
All the sinful stuff.
Yeah, all the sinful stuff.
Tobacco.
So
yeah, that kind of
this
stuff.
may likely offset the increase of sugar beverage tax,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Uh-huh.
okay lah, you increase by 20 cents, but I also earn 200 ringgit extra,
I
so
can pay a bit more.
never lah, I just pay a bit more.
Ah.
But that's that
That is
that's a whole different
counterintuitive.
counterintuitive lah, but
Yeah.
whole different story altogether.
Mm.
But nonetheless, I would say that for people in minimum wage, actually even if they spend finish the 200, I can understand,
Yeah.
especially if they're living in KL.
Correct. Correct.
How to survive with your whole
Mm.
family 1,007,
Mm.
right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think especially in urban area, likely you're gonna see an increase of spending in discretionary products lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it's not extra packet of cigarette.
But usually, according to survey, usually that's the case. The lower income people, they tend to spend on all the sinful stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I can testify because when I was much younger,
Yeah.
my family was quite poor. The concept generally is you may not be able to get that rich.
Mm.
So since you can't get out of it and you're already so sad, just a little bit of entertainment, right?
Mm.
And for my dad last time was Toto.
Oh, buy more
Right?
Toto.
Yeah, just buy a bit more Toto lah.
Oh, okay.
That $1 won't improve my life, but the $1 buy Toto, if I hit
Can
it,
change your
can
life.
change my life. That's the
Yeah.
concept, you see?
That's true.
Yeah, and then like this last time cigarette cheaper lah.
Mm.
That 1 ringgit to buy the stick of cigarette won't change my life.
Mm.
But at least that 1 minute I smoke, I'm a
Mm.
bit happier.
But we are not here to promote people
Yeah.
to start the habit lah.
But what we
Yeah.
are trying to
This
share
is
with you
this is
that
the human behavior, and this kind of companies will tend to benefit from this kind of policies.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and relating to sin tax, right?
Right.
Surprisingly,
Yes.
not much of announcement about sin tax, huh?
Mm. The sugar and
Except
all.
sugar ni. So surprisingly this time, I would say, and I think it's pretty good.
Mm.
Why do I think it's pretty good? Is because I think it also gives confidence to foreign investors. Yeah, that's what am I seeing as Malaysia try to welcome foreign investor in. You also want to show more welcoming stance to
Mm-hmm.
different culture,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, I'm not saying that we should condone, but I think that what government will try to do is, like for example, I've heard that while they don't increase the taxes for alcohol, but actually it is very hard to get a liquor license. It's
Mm.
very hard to get the bar license.
Mm.
So when you do this kind of measurement control, foreign investor won't know ma.
Yep.
They won't say like, you know this country like that, right? Yeah. So okay lah.
Mm.
So I think that that should be the way to go if they want to curb these kind of things.
Yes.
Yeah. But rather than a national wide
Mm.
increase of this and that and so
Mm.
on lah.
Yeah, and I also think if they increase the alcohol tax, I think a lot of people will make noise. Simply because Malaysia today is already the world's second largest, most expensive tax on alcohol already. So if they increase it further, I think all the breweries they will all make noise lah. Not just the people, right?
That's right. That's right. Someone
Yeah.
else stock market recovering. You go and not
Yeah.
the best move. Not the best move.
Right.
Yeah. What is the next thing that is in line to actually affect investment?
Uh,
Okay. You want to go first or
you go first, since I
okay?
started with the wage already.
Okay. I think one thing has to do with power and energy.
Mm.
Okay. Uh, First thing, you can see that there is an allocation for green energy. Netter is quite well allocated this time round. They're
Yep.
talking about it quite a lot, and I think this one has to talk quite hand in hand with data centers,
Mm.
because with data centers entering into Malaysia at such large scale, there is gonna be problem about power.
Mm.
Actually, honestly, this is something that people in the industry talk about, but people not in the industry doesn't really talk about, is that there needs to be a lot of supply of power.
Yep.
And we can see that now there's a lot more investment into solar farm
Mm.
in Malaysia, and hopefully, in my opinion, I'm not sure whether it is related, but I'm pretty sure there's certain parallel aspects to it, right?
Yes.
So because of that, there should be a lot of these kind of things to be able to generate power to help out with the grid lah, to
Correct.
lessen the burden of the grid.
Correct. Already people are talking about the large scale solar project, the fifth edition, right? So in the past, if you all can remember, there's a lot of LSS, large scale solar, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So it was very successful. It helped with the national energy reserve and all that. So now they are talking about 2 gigawatt of new energy coming to the pipeline if they were to launch LSS 5.
That's right.
So if LSS 5 were to come out, then all these solar companies, they will all go and bid for the jobs.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, but solar is quite a complicated industry when it comes to the movement of the companies. But in terms of the business itself, it's quite simple.
Yes.
It's just the panel installation.
Yeah.
Nothing too high tech actually.
Yeah, you go and find a site, you go and install, and then you just leave it there for next 20 over years.
That's right. And the good thing about all these kind of solar things is very much contractual over quite a long period. So if you can find those companies, if it is listed, that are able to win this kind of contract, then you will be able to see, right?
Yes.
And we are likely going to see a lot more companies also adapting solar panels in their own manufacturing. And I think we're starting to see that. And then a lot of houses also have that to help to kind of lessen the power of the grid. Which I think is actually quite a smart move this time around, with all these things, happening hand to hand, rather than wait until by then.
Correct. It is
only,
yes, it is very important, because if you remember when we were young, there was one day the whole country blackout. I think this was in 1990 something. I can't remember. And the reason for that is because in the past, right, the power generation in Malaysia is just enough for the population of Malaysia. So when there's something go wrong, right, the whole country will trip. So
right.
Because of that, during that time, the Prime Minister Tun M decided to say that, hey, we must build a reserve of energy for the country. So since that onwards, all these companies like YTL Power, Tenaga and all that, they started building a lot of power plant, but they are all coal-powered power plants. And then they build, and then at the end of the day, we managed to secure like 30% extra from what we need. So, but today, we're talking about all these new businesses coming to Malaysia. You're talking about data centers. You're talking about transition to EVs. So everything is about high energy consumption.
That's
So,
right.
and if we don't do something right, then perhaps maybe one day we will see that they happen again.
Mm,
Right? Remember that day we went to this solar related company,
that's
and
right.
and the guy told us that if let's say today Malaysia 1 million EV charge the car together at the same time, the whole country will trip.
Yes.
Right? So that is the issue that we currently is facing. So therefore, the LSS5 and all that, they are no joke, man. They really will happen. Man.
Yeah. So I would say that when it comes to this power supply issue
Mm.
and green energy thing, right? Don't just think about it in terms of investing in stock, but
Yes.
as a person who has, let's say, business opportunity, or like whatever it is, this is actually a place that is gonna have. I think there are a lot of SMEs will benefited.
Mm.
Yeah, I think like literally there are gonna be a lot of SMEs that are gonna be benefited
Mm.
from this whole exercise itself, because there's a huge problem there waiting to be solved.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, well, I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, moving on as well. Okay. Before we talk about the national semiconductor one, um, which they allocated 1 billion for our national semiconductor things, and
Mm.
it is R&D, blah blah blah. Later we're gonna talk a little bit about it, our personal comment and stuff like that.
Yep.
You have read about it, right? I bet.
A little bit. I
Yeah.
didn't go into the details, but yeah.
Okay. Now, I think let's talk about the 2% tax dividend.
Mm.
Tax on dividends. Yes.
Yes.
Because I think that is on the concern of many people's mind. Now,
Yeah.
so firstly,
Mm.
they have talked about this. We know that it's gonna be on Bursa Malaysia stocks.
Yes.
But if let's say it is foreign stocks, it is a PNB unit trust
Yep.
or KWSP,
Yep.
it is exempted.
Yep.
Right? But what about if it is private listed stocks?
Private listed stocks, I think you can. I think if you buy, okay. So the thing is, apart from all those exemption, they never really give very
Right.
clear direction of how this is going to be. But if just by purely reading from the text, right, it means that anything apart from these three will be taxed.
Mm.
So maybe your private unit trust will be taxed. I don't know, right? I don't know. I really don't know. But looking at the text, looks like it is like that lah. So that's one. Private companies, if we declare dividend to ourselves, if it is more than 100,000, also will be taxed. So then my question is this, right? The concept of dividend is that you invest in the company generated revenue, you pay all the expenses, and then you pay corporate tax. After you pay corporate tax, the leftover, the crumbs, then you can issue it out as dividend. So technically speaking, the dividend is already taxed.
Mm.
So if you tax an extra 2% on the dividend, yeah, so you get my point, right? You are taxing on top of tax.
Yeah, but this is not foreign. Other countries,
Yeah
right?
lah, yeah lah.
Yeah.
True lah. So some countries do practice that, but if you really look into how it works, right? I don't know. I just feel not fair that I need to pay tax 2 times.
So my opinion is that government is moving towards taxing on inheritance eventually.
Eventually,
Property also.
uh,
I think it's just a matter of time lah. But
no good.
these are
I don't like.
speculation lah.
Yeah, speculation.
Speculation yeah. So yeah, because do you not like, honestly, I'm not in the position to say that,
Hmm.
because simply how I think about it is that it's either do you want to stay here or don't stay here lor.
But very hard to move, right?
Nothing much to.
So chances are you are continuing
I
to
mean, if
stay
you go
here.
Australia, you're gonna get taxed,
That's true.
and
Correct.
you're gonna look at 40% tax compared to Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, total tax is gonna be more. Now, then the only argument is that will this money be put into good use to really help the general public and our lives as well?
Correct.
Yeah. Now, so definitely, I think that if he go too far with this, then yeah, it will be quite dangerous.
Slowly, gradually.
Yeah, gradually lah. Now,
Mm.
however, let's talk about the investment side, right?
Mm.
I think unit trusts are the ones who get affected the most,
Mm.
because unit trusts are the ones who are investing a lot in institution,
Yeah.
right? In the institution level.
Yeah.
And then usually this unit trust dividend will be reinvested back to the accumulated back
Mm.
and to, in a way, given back to the people,
Yes.
right? Now, then it depends on the unit trust structure also,
Mm.
because there are certain unit trusts that has a dividend structure.
Mm.
Will that be taxed?
Mm.
That's the question, right? Number two, is the tax one layer or two layer? Which means, right, let's say my unit trust fund have three stocks.
Mm.
These three stocks give me dividend.
Mm.
When they pay me the dividend, do we tax the first round first?
Mm.
Then,
You reinvest the money,
then
then
I
more
reinvest the
dividend.
money. Then now year end, I
Uh,
close my books. I give back dividend to my
Unit holders.
unit holders. Now, usually they will issue it in the form of a unit,
Mm.
right? Will this be taxed?
Yeah.
That's the question,
Very complicated.
So now I'm not sure whether is it being addressed, because even when it comes to will private company like us
Mm.
getting taxed, I
Mm.
don't think they give a real official saying that Sendirian Berhad will be taxed under dividend also.
No, kena.
Kena
Kena.
come
So
out already.
if you declare, well, I don't know whether it's called declare or not declare, but the general understanding is the word dividend means you will be taxed if you get more than 100,000.
So we do not know yet,
Yeah, we do not know yet, but a lot of people are saying that even private companies will also kena.
Correct. So
Yeah.
now there's no official answer coming out yet.
Mm.
So it's semi speculative at this
Yes.
point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that's the question mark. And then when it comes to investment funds who get affected,
Mm.
PEs.
That one, no need to say lah.
Because PEs like to invest in cash flow business and pay out dividend,
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then there's a question of whether will their investment model need to work around or something like that, or maybe it just doesn't really matter because it's only 2%,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Don't know. We have to wait for more clarification first lah.
Yeah. So what's the chatters that you've heard so far? Because you're closer to the investment circle, right?
Yeah. So what I heard is apart from those exemption, everything kena.
Everything,
Everything kena. As long as the word is dividend, you kena.
So will the investment wealth management, asset management company will
That,
need to rethink about their strategy?
that part I don't know because that one is too technical already. So I
Right,
don't know. Yeah.
Right. They didn't, but I think
I
they
don't
will
think
have
they
to,
also
right?
know, right? I don't think they.
But I
they
think
know.
they will have to
Of
re-strategize,
course,
right?
of course.
Yeah.
Because 2% is not small money, you know.
Yeah, because you think about it, like
Mm.
2%. If I'm an income fund,
Yeah. Income fund, you rely on dividend.
yeah,
Now your dividend is taxed.
oh,
Yeah.
that's gonna be quite a.
Mm.
Now, if you think about it this way, right? You know what's gonna happen? If many of them don't know how to handle this,
Mm.
then who's gonna be the winner? KWSP.
So everyone, I just put money there.
Voluntary contribution will increase,
Oh, that's true.
right?
That's true.
And then even when you retire, you will likely not withdraw everything and just leave the money there, just collect dividend. Because they will not tax,
But at the expense of other fund management houses. So.
Okay lah. So ultimately, the 2% is not 2% of your fund size,
Mm.
It's 2% of your
Of the
dividend,
dividend,
So it's
yeah.
actually at a fraction of 100 lah.
Correct.
If your overall fund, so it's
Correct.
0.002% in 0.02 or 0.002.
0. Point, what?
02.
What do you mean?
Fraction of it. No, because it's a 2% of your dividend, So
2% is 0.02.
So okay lah, but you cannot really calculate like that lah.
Uh-huh.
You need to know the exact numbers. Only you can get the calculation. But you get my point.
Mm.
It's not 2% of your asset.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2%
of your dividend.
of your dividend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
it is manageable.
yeah, it's manageable.
Mm.
Yeah. So I don't think it will affect you if, let's say, your investment is in the range of, say, 100 over 1,000 or 200 over 1,000. Say even 1 million also is not gonna be. It's also not gonna be significant. Like you cannot buy bread tomorrow, or maybe it will just cost you one holiday, or something like that, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so I think those are the things. Now.
So I have one to share. In 2026, we are going to have this thing called Visit Malaysia.
Yes.
Visit Malaysia. I think it's about time already. All the tourist attraction look very old. The infrastructure also like halfway there. Even our immigration system also say want to upgrade for so long, also haven't upgrade. But finally, a few days ago, they have awarded the award, the NIISE award, to this company called High Tech Padu, where there are two sultans are shareholders in the company. So yeah, I think there's some excitement in the tourism sector.
Mm.
And when you think about tourism, the first thing that usually comes to mind to investors is the airlines.
Mm.
So airlines, I think they'll probably benefit from it, and all the hotelers, all the hotel REITs, and then your consumer lah again anything to do with tourism and private consumption, consumer stocks will tend to do very very well.
That's right. Yeah. And talking about that as well, right? I think
Mm,
a brief run through also infrastructure is has been mentioned this time around. Remember, 1 week before this, you were saying that not much of infrastructure talk.
mm.
This time around got lah.
A bit
Penang LRT
Penang
lah,
LRT, yeah. Airport
airport
expansion.
expansion.
Yes, yes, yes.
Then they also got talk about
Flood mitigation.
flood mitigation,
Yes.
all those kind of things. And then Sabah Sarawak, there's a lot of investment in terms of development.
Mm,
Yeah. So these are some of the things that to actually look at. Now, again, if you're investing in the stock market itself, I think not gonna be super exciting.
mm,
But I think for those people who are at the SME level,
mm,
let's say you may have friends asking you JV, you may have friends to ask you that, hey, tell you like this is an opportunity.
mm,
So what's interesting was because I went to Sarawak,
mm.
so it coincide with this water treatment convention.
Oh, what's that?
Yes. So
Uh,
apparently Abang Joe,
mm,
Chief Minister of Sarawak, has always been talking about water treatment
mm.
in Sarawak.
Okay.
Okay. So now means that they have to lay pipes, they have to lay down the
Mm,
pipes and everything all.
mm,
And then also there's some of this engineering kind of stuff lah.
mm.
So there's a lot of opportunity in that area. So those people who are trading
Steve.
valves,
Uh,
specialized engineering, coatings, very specific stuff,
mm,
right? There's a lot of opportunity in those areas.
mm,
Yeah, and Sarawak has been really trying to attract talent to go there. Now, so Sarawak got tourism and got beginning of all this
yep. Heavy industries.
heavy industries. Even we talk about CMSB, and stuff
Yep.
like that. Yeah, yeah. I think cement will be in
Yeah,
demand
of
for
course,
sure.
whatever you do, you need cement. So
Yeah.
that one, yeah.
Yeah. Now, so I think it's quite an interesting place to
Mm-hmm.
be in Sarawak, in terms of the prospect of a growth.
Mm,
So they are really trying to bring in outside talent to go there right now. That's
mm,
why they do this free education thing, right?
mm.
And also on the other hand, you can see that they are taking on their own petrol,
Yeah,
right?
Petros, correct.
Yeah, when I was there at the time, I can see like, hey, Petros got a few booths over their carnivals, and things like
Oh.
that. Yeah, it's starting to come out. Yeah, talk to the locals there. Quite
Mm,
interesting, quite interesting. Yeah, some can say, some cannot say, but but I think it's an interesting landscape right now in Sarawak.
mm,
Well, if you guys are interested to hear about like all these not so public listed kind of stuff, but
mm,
rather like in the industry ground level kind of information and understanding, maybe just write one in the comment.
mm,
Maybe we can do one with fuck show, right? Yeah,
mm.
I mean
Sure.
FAQ show. Right,
Yeah.
where we go into the deep dive of certain businesses.
That would be
Yeah.
fun. That would be fun.
That'll be
Yeah.
very niche, very niche. Yeah, probably not gonna do it online, more of an
Mm,
offline session.
sure.
Yeah, so if you guys are interested, type one there, then maybe Frankie can actually do a private
Mm,
event on that.
sure. Happy to do
Right?
it if you guys type one in the comment box.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, so I think
Mm.
these are my personal thought. I think they should bring data center into Sarawak.
Of course, got a lot of energy there, right?
Correct. But it's very far lah.
Yeah.
So the cabotage, kind of question
Mm.
will all come in. Yeah. So I think ultimately this year, the budget generally looks positive for the business.
Mm.
Yeah. Big and small business alike, I would say.
Yes.
I would say big and small business alike.
Mm.
Yeah. I thought it's gonna be very Robin Hood, but I think
Everybody gets something, right?
yeah, it's not that
Mm.
Robin Hood lah, I would say. However, the only thing that before we go into the more rugged aspect, I think another area to pay attention to is one that is not inside the budget. I think it's called
Mm.
PICAS 2030,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Mm.
a private.
Private public partnership.
Yes, there's like double digit million, I think 80 million or something like that.
Mm.
That's gonna be allocated for it. Um, so I think there's gonna be more GLCs lah in that sense, right?
Mm.
But is it gonna be in the form of like Sam Rabi kind of GLC, or is it gonna be an investment fund?
Don't know.
I
Don't know
don't know
yet.
yet, right? Yeah, I haven't spoke to Ken Ming also because I was sick, right? Yeah, but on the other hand, I think that 1 billion investment in semiconductor industry is quite interesting.
Mm.
Some argue that it is enough. Some argue that it's not enough. Now,
Mm.
but what happened is very simple, right? There are a few things that is gonna happen. Number one, there will be an investment matching of involving over 100 million via public equity funding platform, yeah, to grow local suppliers in the E&E industry, specialty chemical and medical devices. Yeah. So
Good.
there's gonna be 100 million public equity funding. So what we are gonna likely see is PEs are gonna
Join hands
join
together
hands.
with
Yeah,
government.
so the overall amount there is gonna be 200 million.
Mm.
So remember you had this interview with this medical device company.
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm. So I guess on the not so large scale, maybe they will benefit.
Correct. They can go and apply for all these kind of benefits for
Mm.
themselves, to develop more medical devices and stuff
That's
like
right.
that.
That's right. Yeah, but how it
Mm.
goes is it's not so much a government application.
Mm.
What happened is that like there will be those PE funds
Mm.
who will approach them and yeah, but usually this one will be a bit more hush hush, right? Usually they won't tell
Usually, is
you,
they do it privately and then you won't
yeah,
even feel it, that kind.
you won't even feel it that
Mm.
kind. Yeah, this one is really you need to have the pulse in the industry
Mm.
to know lah. Yeah, I think you should start gathering right back those people that we have interviewed
Mhm.
and do a monthly or either quarterly community meeting with those people that you interview.
What do you guys think?
Remember we talked about it for close to a
Yes,
year already. Still
correct.
haven't do yet.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. If you guys think that we should do that, yeah, please
Mm.
let us know. And maybe FAQ show should have your own live, your own own show as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we
Then
have
we
our
can.
own
Then I
money
can be the
hackers.
guest there sometimes.
That would be fun.
Then
Yeah,
you can be
yeah.
my guest here sometimes.
Mm.
Then we can split out the topic much more into deep dive technical stuff.
Correct.
Okay, anyway, there's another story.
Yeah.
Now, next thing is this. Khazanah Nasional Berhad will be providing 1 billion to lead investment that support local semiconductor industry. Okay. Additionally, Sovereign Wealth Fund is allocating 200 million to program pembangunan belia Khazanah to supply 11,000 local talent to key sectors such as semiconductor. So now, what we are trying to say is that if you are a local small player in semiconductor, well,
Mm.
there's funds for you lah.
Mm.
Yeah, so this is more on the business side. Now, for those of you who are looking for jobs, who are thinking about diving into a startup, I got a feeling if all this jalan well, you're gonna see
Yeah, they're really trying
hiring
to
lah.
turn Malaysia into a tech innovation center of
Mm.
the region. So you have data center, and then you're bringing in all these semiconductor initiatives and all that, right? If we execute it well, then hopefully Penang is not just the only place for tech. It can spread around across the other major cities also.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So apparently they are also focusing on really developing talent, and this time around, really high tech talent. Yeah. So they are talking about people, and they're working in universities.
Mm.
But I have to say, the execution is where the real thing is.
Yes.
And this one, we got huge problem lah. Because number one, our TVET is not really centralized under one
Yeah.
agency one. It's every different agency got their own TVET.
Mm.
Number two, you need to work together with industry, IPTAs, TVET. All these need to join hand together to do things. So it's a cross almost a cross-departmental kind of implementation.
Yep.
Giving the money is the easy part. To really implement it is the tough part.
Mm.
So here is where I do not know lah. I really do not know lah.
Well, if you think of it, this is the third budget that our prime minister delivered the budget, right? So we have seen some of the experiences of this current Madani government executing things. Now, what do you guys think about their execution? Are they better than the previous regimes, or do you think that they're doing a very good job? Right? You can share with us in the comments, and then we'll see how's the future of Malaysia, right? Because that's where we're going to stay for a very, very, very long time.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So those are the private sector lah. I guess ultimately with all this, the last thing to really talk about is actually T15 and targeted subsidy lah.
The RON 95 one.
Ending of
Yeah.
our thoughts lah.
Yeah.
I guess.
So apparently the T15 people use up 40% of the fuel subsidy.
I don't even know where this T15 come
Yeah.
from lah. It's almost like a curveball, you know.
Right.
Like suddenly T15. Wait, apa ni T15?
Hey, but last week you did say that don't just blanket over T20, because actually T20 also not to say very
That's
rich.
right. That's
So
right.
maybe they hurt you, so they strength
Wow.
it to they strength it by 5%, so call it T15.
I'm pretty sure it's not because they hurt us.
Yeah. Because they will have some special task force people sitting inside to work out the numbers.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think here's the interesting part, right? So they're saying that T15 and then subsequently YB Rafizi Ramni came out and then he said that the T15 will not be identified solely based on income, but rather other aspects as well. And this got me questioning what other aspects.
He is making things more confused.
I'm
If you say based on income, then very easy, right?
thinking what other aspects? The clothes they wear.
What car you drive? Which area you
Like
stay?
maybe they go Birkin, ask for the waiting list.
Uh,
Rolex, ask for waiting list.
maybe.
Then what else? Based on the habit, do you smoke a lot?
Uh,
Do you drink a lot? Do you frequent a pub? What other measure?
I don't know.
I cannot think about what other measure at this point, you know.
Yeah.
Education level? Result very good. Then you kena targeted subsidy, is it? Or result very bad because you're not contributing enough to the brains.
Yeah, a lot of questions are more questions than answer.
Correct. So that statement, right? I'm a bit like, huh? What other measure? Or like, what else? What else, right? Yeah. Now, so we do not know how is it going to be measured, but I think that's going to be challenging.
But I think investors will look at this implementation of RON 95 rationalization very closely, because there are a few ways to do it, right? Like say, the simplest way is to give cash out, right? Like last time during Najib time, it was BRIM, right? You give BRIM to B40, very easy. Then you just take the BRIM money, then you just go and pump petrol, right? Easy. The more complicated of implementation would be to track how much you earn, and then put the tracker into your IC, so that when you insert your IC into the pump, they know that, oh, this guy is a high earner, therefore you are not entitled to the subsidy. If that is the case, then a lot of all these tech companies, software companies and whatnot, they are going to benefit from this kind of implementation. They talked about it before in the past and it got the market excited, but after that it died down. But let's say next year they're going to really implement this and they're going to use the IC. I can already start seeing a lot of related companies is going to get really hot in the market.
Yeah. But it's just almost hard to implement, in my opinion.
Yeah, very hard.
It's
the
very hard.
easiest way is just give money.
Correct. I think the easiest way is still follow back
the old way, right?
The Sumbangan Tunai Rama thing. Right? Then you just because usually these people are identified as lower income or people in need generally is agreed upon, right? In principle. And if let's say you give them a lump sum on a monthly basis, I mean if you're offsetting petrol, fair lah, like 100 to 200 ringgit, fair lah, right?
Yep.
I mean if your extra amount of petrol goes up to 500, I'm pretty sure you're doing business. You get what I mean, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So then I think that's probably the best way. Because even KWSP cannot really give you an accurate number.
Mm.
Because number one, banks will give way higher KWSP.
Mm.
If I backward calculate, right, it means that all the bank staff punya income will be artificially inflated, you know.
Yep. Unless they also go and track how many percent the employer give,
Correct.
but
Which
which
is
is very tedious,
impossible.
very tedious.
Which is impossible.
Yeah,
Very,
because
very
every company
difficult.
pay different percentage.
That's right.
Mm.
And then, but if you were to use LHDN, let's be honest lah, there's a lot of people who don't pay LHDN lah. Huh?
Mm.
Yeah. So I think that is the problem lah. But I still think it's good that they announce it, because when they announce it and they say that they're gonna implement by
Yeah.
June,
They manage
they
expectation.
manage expectation.
Yeah.
So I felt it was a good move this time.
Mm.
Really, I feel that it's quite a good move this time. Yeah. But how they're gonna implement it will be the question. Now, then it moves on to the next thing, which is T15s will not be entitled for healthcare subsidy, or less entitlement for healthcare subsidy and education subsidy.
Mm. But again, this is just the same as you go and pump petrol. How are you going to identify these people are T15?
Correct.
Ah.
Correct. Now, that's number one. Number two, healthcare.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure that most of the healthcare T15 above are using private insurance.
Mm.
So it may not really affect.
Mm.
Yeah. Now, my thought is, I feel they should come up with a system to actually control inflation of medical. But this will affect healthcare industry lah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a whole topic in itself.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Now,
Maybe we should get some guests
yes,
to talk about
I'll
this
give you a
topic.
brief idea, right?
Mm.
You think about it, because I have this video that went viral because of how much doctor earn. So a lot of people were saying that's the reason why medical fees are so expensive. Okay. But if you look at the whole bill, right? Like the day my nephew got admitted into hospital one night, the whole bill of 10,000, 11,000 ringgit, only 3,000 is doctor's bill. Spread by 3 doctors.
Oh, so actually
6,000 is where?
hospital, the
But
bed, the tissue
no one
paper.
blame hospital,
Mm.
everyone blame doctor, blame insurance company.
Mm.
So maybe you should work with Liam
Mm.
to talk about this. But all the hospital hate us. All the hospital hate us. Yeah. Anyway, that's the thing. I don't know how is it gonna affect the people, but yeah.
Yeah lah, time will tell lah. Because some of the medical services also only public hospitals have. So even if you have money also, you have to go to public hospitals, right? Especially those very, very specialist kind of doctors. I'm not sure, but maybe that's the case.
Yeah. And next thing is will this then translate into benefiting education businesses?
Yeah. But one thing for sure is after 3 budgets, right? One thing for sure that I feel is that I think this government, they really manage their money better than previously lah, right? They really don't simply spend. There are less leakages, and they really go and target the right people to do the right thing. But these kind of things, you need time to see the result, right? So 3 years is not enough. Maybe 5 years is also not enough.
That's right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be their propaganda in the next election, right? To say that, hey, 5 years is not enough. We're just seeing the sprout of it. You must give us another term, you know.
Yeah. So I've spoken to a number of people. I have to say that this current government is really trying to cut down on the operation cost.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because that's the fat. You need to cut the fat.
Yeah. So apparently last time a lot of government agency, they have a lot of celebration. Like then you're meeting, then sure got makanan. Every time meeting sure got makanan.
Yes.
Now
no more
very
already,
little already. Now they start to cut down. They really cut down.
Good.
So like less celebration, less things. But good lah. They translate back to higher pay. They translate it into all the other stuff. So I think they are really trying to do something lah. Hopefully, eventually, it will lead to a high income nation. Yeah. So any last words to share with the people about impact on investments? What should they take note of in 2025?
Yeah, so this budget don't have a really direct impact or direct implication to the stock market, but you really need to read between the lines and then listen to our podcast, right? then you will find clues on where to look for all these ideas for your investment portfolio in 2025.
So for me, I think my last words for the audience is that those who are investing in unit trust, I think it's very important that you pay attention
Mm,
to look through your unit trust investment, right? Do a review, check it out, understand how is it going to impact your unit trust because that's one of the most common one, and I think it's going to be a concern. Number two, I think for those of you who are looking at investment opportunity in the stock market itself, um, I want to say that don't expect a miracle.
mm,
Nothing is there's gonna be this hype right now. Some stocks will go up, some stocks will go down,
mm,
but don't get affected by this noise. Think
yeah.
about how will all this policy affect the companies over long term and make your bet based on long term.
Mm.
Yeah, so that your risks are lower. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Do we have time for Q&A?
Maybe we'll just answer 3 questions
Sure,
and let's call it a night.
sure.
So some people also ask about car.
Uh,
Uh,
we force second-hand car price to go down with the cut of fuel subsidy.
Mm, I think generally car industry hasn't been doing very well lah,
That's
honestly.
true.
So I think used car price has dropped mainly because new car price also give a
Also
lot of
drop.
discount.
I think that's thanks to Chinese cars coming into Malaysia, right?
That's
Oh,
right.
the new BYD, the
Yeah,
7-seater, 100K anyway.
that's right. Oh, out already. Ah?
Already.
Oh, you want to see it?
M6.
You want to
I
see it?
haven't seen it. I
Oh,
haven't
I
seen
want to
it.
go and see, man.
But it's really interesting.
And it's not like cheap looking, right? It's
Apparently, it looks like Toyota Wish.
yes, yes.
7-seater, starting from 106,000.
Okay.
Uh,
Let's go and test drive this
yeah.
car.
So this is just one example. There are so many China car brands, and they get cheaper and cheaper each time they launch a new model. So now Perodor is also coming out with their new EV, right? And apparently it's going to be priced less than 100,000.
Yeah.
Now if you compare it, right, Perodor is not that cheap, you know.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hey, but here's where I think it's quite funny. Why is it PM is the one who announced Perodor marketing plan?
I also don't know. It should be UMW or somebody else, right?
That's right. Very interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
So, I'm just looking at it. It looks not bad.
It looks nice.
Quite
I
good
saw
looking.
some reviews.
I think.
Yeah. By the
yeah.
way, this is not sponsored. I'm just
Yeah, this is not
genuinely just
sponsored.
want to share it that it looks really interesting and
Hopefully it
caught
has
my
the power
attention.
lah. Hopefully it has the power lah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's maybe BYD want to sponsor us, can talk to us.
Yeah,
Yeah?
sure.
You don't mind?
We can do interviews in BYD cars.
Yeah. I don't mind buying an MPV because I do need
Yeah,
MPV if I can.
same. That's
Right.
why it caught my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe about time to change car.
Correct.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a different story. But the good thing is that they are extending the road tax thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So for those of you who are thinking about buying electric vehicle, don't worry. Next year you don't have to pay a lot yet.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing lah, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. No, any other question? Is it really cheaper? I can't seem to get personal loan. I don't think that has to do with cheaper or not. That has to do with your own secrets
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and your credit ability.
Correct.
Yeah. What else?
Hmm.
Personal finance question. If you have 6 months bonus, would you use it to pay off your loan or invest in stock market? You can only have one choice. Which one it is? I know this one we both have different answer.
Yes.
So okay, maybe you want to answer first.
I'll pay off my loan.
Yeah, and specifically,
What
What
do you
loan?
mean? Whatever loan lah. Whatever loan that I have lah. So the loan that I
Okay.
have now is house loan, so I pay house. So.
yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
so I think if the credit card loan is granted, credit card loan,
Correct. If you have credit card loan and house
personal
loan,
loan, you know, all
you
those
pay
things.
your credit card loan first.
Yes.
Because that one is 18%.
Correct. So
Yes, for sure.
high rate loans, we both agree that we should
Yes.
pay the high rate loans first.
Correct. This one no brainer.
Okay. When it comes to paying off property loan with the extra amount,
Mm.
here is where me and Frankie has a differing opinion.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe you just give a brief one. Maybe you should do a topic in itself.
Mm.
We should do a debate one day, right?
Okay,
Uh,
okay. Let me defend myself. Maybe because my loans are flexi loans.
no, don't defend first.
Okay,
You
okay,
need
okay, okay.
to give the context first.
All right,
bro.
all right. Okay,
People
so
don't understand what you're talking about.
okay, so I have this tendency when I have extra money, I'll just use it to pay off my loan.
Mm.
Okay, so that's the context. Now the defense is I do it maybe because, well, not maybe, it is because my mortgages, they're all flexi loans, and I purposely make it like that because I know then I have the flexibility to credit or debit my mortgage account. So when I have extra money, I don't know what to do with it. Obviously, I pay extra to lower my principal, and therefore my interest will be lower, lor. But because I pay extra, so in my account it's always extra. So the extra money you can take it out on because it is a flexi loan. So if really I run into credit crunch, then I just withdraw lah.
Yeah, so you won't use it to invest, right?
Uh, investment got investment money lah, so I won't.
So you will increase your money for loan repayment, but you won't
Yeah,
increase your money for
correct,
investment.
correct.
Why?
Cause there are other ways for you to increase money from your investment, which is be sharper in your investment choice, make more money, use the money to invest.
So here's where me and him differ a lot, lah. My priority is investment. If I got extra money, yeah, I won't use it to pay off my house loan. Now, if it is a house to stay, I may. But if it is a house that I'm using to invest, I definitely won't because I'll take advantage of the lower interest rate. That is my 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 standard modus operandi. I think Frankie will go to the extent of taking out KWSP to pay off house loan, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So you see, here's where we have very different investment philosophy. So if you guys are interested to hear this debate, write one in the comment for us, and perhaps we should make this into a show or either make it one of our live topics.
Yep.
For those of you who do not know, while Prime Minister Anwar announced his budget, we also announced our own plan, right? So one of the plan of Mr. Money TV is that moving on ahead, I'll be doing a lot more offline engagement with our audience. I've decided that I think it's time that I really, really engage with our audience offline. Maybe even I'm just randomly thinking, should I try to meet 50 audience one-on-one personally over a course of, say, a number of months? Yeah. Why? Because actually, I know time to time a lot of people send me a message, ask me whether I can do financial coaching. Maybe I can just do not charging, but just come and meet me.
Yep.
And I talk to you personally for 1 hour, understanding where your financial situation is and share with you some of my thoughts, right? Yeah, so it's kind of like a personal session with me, right? Yeah, if you think that's a good idea, please type 2 in the comment for me. And for those of you who are interested, please DM us in our Instagram, right? Yeah, then we can have a chat on that.
Yep.
Yeah. So why do I want to do that? Just to share with you guys. I mean, there is a chance that it can be a content, but on the other hand, I think I really want to go back to it and understand what's the finance personally like for individual of our audience.
What are the differences?
What are the differences? Yeah. And you know, the whole channel of Mr. Money, the base that we built it was because I used to be a financial planner. And I used to hear their problems. I probably meet about close to 1,000 people a year just to hear their financial problems. And that gave me a
today,
good library.
Yeah, and today you rarely have that opportunity, right?
That's right. That's right. So maybe that should be something that I go back into doing. Yeah.
Speaking of going down and meeting up with people, tomorrow we're gonna have a live session. We have a Money Hackers in real life. This is sponsored by Guinness. So for those who have already signed up, we will see you guys there tomorrow. For those who haven't, don't worry, we'll have more sessions in the future. Just pay attention to our social media when the invitation is up. Quickly go and sign up.
Yeah, and sorry because that one was quite a small setting.
Correct.
We can only invite about
40 plus people.
40, 30
Yeah.
to 40 lah.
Mm.
Basically, we have a limitation lah. Only 30 to 40 people.
Mm.
Yeah, if I recall correctly. So there's memang a
Constraint in space.
constraint in space. Yeah. So do understand, but hopefully in future we're gonna do more bigger events with more people.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all about it. Thank you very much. Yeah. We love to see you guys more. Offline, online. If you guys see us on the street, come and say hi to us.
Yep.
Yep.
See you
Thank you very
guys
much.
again.
See you guys next
Bye
week.
bye.